Welcome to Bourbon and Badges, the podcast, live in Studio 77 from Gastonia, North Carolina, and Calabash, the voice of the uncommon people.
Dog, listen for the percussion instruments.
I practiced that. I listened to that.
All right. Watch the Rodinator. Hey, once again, Bourbon and Badges, the podcast, Season 6, Episode 16. Rodinator here. We got the Dobie Dog, Hound Dog, and we got a slow ride.
Man, we are putting these podcasts out. Number 16 already.
Holy shit.
What about
Time
that?
flies. Time flies. But I'll tell you what we got today. We got someone special who wants to come on right now, this minute. We're not even going to
Special
say
appearance.
nothing. Not shit. Here he comes.
Hey,
Hound
let's go.
Dog, do the introductions.
Hang on.
You button pushing?
Oh my gosh.
Jesus Christ.
I can't find it.
When you get on your channel,
That's what she
forward,
said.
Don't do what we're doing. Make
I
sure you
get
know
it.
what you're doing.
Do you hear what I said, Dobie Dog? He goes, I can't find it. That's what she
All right,
said.
y'all ready?
Yeah, that's funny. You guys didn't laugh.
Oh,
Okay, there you go, Hound Dog.
This is my grandson, Ford Lambert. He's got a T-shirt that he wants to show everybody, especially
Let's
slow
see
ride.
that
Come on,
thing.
All right, Mr. Ford
Come
Lambert.
over here, buddy. Here, put the headphones on, buddy.
Oh, wait a minute. He's got
Oh,
a
looks like
Sasquatch. Hold it up.
Sasquatch.
A little higher, a little higher.
Hey, what's
Oh,
happening?
nice.
Sasquatch,
Sasquatch,
Alaska.
Alaska.
I like
Dude,
it.
that's awesome.
man.
Let
Look
me
at
see the
that.
bling. Let's see the bling, brother.
Hey, you look like a
Nice.
gangster. Ford's a gangster.
He's got Italian in him. That's what he's got. Yeah, there you go, bro.
Yo, what's happening, brother? Yo,
How you doing, Forrest?
Good.
Ford? Good, man. You on the air, brother? Anything you
tell
want
us
to say?
something, man. Hey, tell the world anything you want to tell them.
I'm a pro gamer on a PS5.
All right. Yeah? Do you play any sports? Do anything like that?
I play
What do you play?
baseball, and
Baseball.
I'm about to be football.
Oh, cool, man. We
Man,
gotta
you're
get
looking
you
pretty thick.
Get that man a bourbon.
You gotta get some guns on you, bro. You gotta
Look at him. He's got some.
do a
he's got
double
going now.
double
Look at
bicep.
that.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice. Ford looking
Yeah,
good.
boy, the
You gotta
women
go- I
be
think-
calling in, brother. The women's
Heck
gonna be
yeah, I
calling
think football's
in.
your calling, brother. I think football is your calling. You got some thickness to you, bro.
Yeah,
Nice.
the bling
Excellent.
going.
Yeah, man. Well, good to see you, brother. How old are you? 8?
Yeah.
8. Wow. Big for an
Almost
8-year-old.
9. Almost
Heck
9.
yeah. Wish I was 8 again. Like to do it all over again. Woo-wee. I would do some things different, but you know.
All right, Ford. We'll give you a number out in case all the ladies want to call.
All right, buddy. Take care, Ford.
See you,
Bye-bye.
All right.
He probably
There you
knows
go.
more about this computer than we do.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Exactly.
Hey, he's probably. It looks like he should be collecting debt, for the
That was key. You ask him, tell us something about yourself. First thing he did was go to his computer. That's the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time.
His last name's
That's
He
what-
sure his last name's not Gotti.
Ford Gotti, yeah. You got the bling going on.
He does have the bling.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to start this shit show off. By the way, I've been to a vineyard and I've been to a brewery already, and now we're podcasting, so take that
You
as you
about
will.
set.
Yeah, I'm about set. I'm
So
doing
you
just
ready for a
straight
man
Buffalo
drink.
Trace. That's what I'm doing today, fellas, and we know Buffalo Trace is one of our, I think, all of our hometown favorites. The price point's great, and the taste is great.
Peg leg porker over here, guys.
Oh, I don't know anything about that one,
nice.
dude.
Oh, let me tell you, it's after a guy named he lost his leg to cancer, peg leg. He started a
Thus?
barbecue business, porker.
In
And
Nashville,
he-
Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. You're exactly right there, Hound Dog.
Peg
He wanted to
leg
get in the
porker.
bourbon business, so peg
Oh.
leg porker. Let me tell you, this is excellent pour.
What kind
It's,
of what kind of burn is it? Anything? What
It's
kind
I think
of
it's
proof?
90 proof by the way it feels. 90 proof.
That's
Didn't know,
not
but
bad.
it felt
Yeah.
90 proof.
That's not bad. Sweet.
Yeah.
How about you guys? Double D or Hound Dog? What do we got?
Got High West.
What's that about? I never
It's
heard of
a,
High West. Jesus.
It's out of Utah. It's a 92 proof. It's a high rye.
Yeah, they outdo me, didn't you there, Double D?
It's like a 71% corn, 77% corn, 21% rye. It's solid. It's got a little spicy notes on it. It's got all. I was telling Hound Dog about
What's the
it.
price point on it?
So the MSRP is 38.
38. Okay.
It's solid. I mean, it's
it's
a little spice. It's I guess the notes are all over the place. It's like cornbread and vanilla and lemon. It's solid. It's solid.
Nice. By the way, I think you're sounding as good as I've heard you sound, Dobie Dog. My technical difficulties child.
Yeah, man, he's coming
think
along.
today-
Our
yeah.
baby's grown up.
I think he's leaving the nest.
Yeah.
He has.
My mama done told me. Remember that? Remember the vultures? She kicked his ass out of the. Oh no, Mom, I'm not going. She smacks his ass. And he goes, "Meow." Go ahead, Hound Dog. What were
Isn't
we
that
drinking?
sad
Tom?
that that's where we go?
Yeah, it is.
H. Taylor small batch.
Man.
All right, H. Taylor.
That
I
is
looked
my
at it.
favorite pour right there in the world. Number
Really?
one favorite pour.
It's
my
was that
number-
small batch? I couldn't read the label.
Yeah,
H.
small
Taylor
batch.
small batch?
Small batch, yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
Man,
I figured
yeah,
I'd
that's
go-
an excellent pour.
think I'd go big today. Why not?
Well, you know what? I think you ought to go big, Hound Dog, because you know what? You took last fucking week off, and
I
we don't
did.
pay you
Oh,
to
yeah,
go on
really?
vacations to Alaska. So we need
but
to.
you. But
That
you
came
did.
out of your pay, dude.
And let me tell you something. We had some bad reports that were a bunch of turtle incidents at your beach. So I
those-
think you're coming home to a shit show, brother.
Oh, I'll be on the beach tomorrow morning, bright and damn
Yeah.
early. You wait and see.
I think you're in for it. But how was the trip to Alaska?
Yeah, let's
Everybody
hear it.
here-
It's
you
a,
went to
it's
Alaska,
a cruise,
folks.
I'll
right?
tell you what,
Cruise
yeah.
to Alaska.
Yeah, cruise to Alaska. I highly, highly, highly recommend everyone going on an Alaskan cruise. You see, you think about Alaska.
Alaska?
You think about it, and you think snow everywhere, and just blizzards constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that this trip, because
Well, it's summer, though, right? I mean,
It's
summer.
summer, but it was still, there was still snow on the mountaintops. I got to see that, and just white cap mountains, man. It was something else, and I actually got to see an orca whale out, in the out there in the ocean.
All right, you mean
there.
like a real one, not some fat chick on the cruise, right?
Well, I saw
Not
that
some
too.
fat chick with bad teeth.
I saw that too. But anyway, but man, I'm telling you, man, it's a beautiful state, and I look forward to hopefully going back again some other time. And I highly
good.
recommend.
Awesome.
Thanks for inviting us. Thanks for the invitation.
Couple questions, if I could.
Anytime, yeah, man.
So it's a cruise.
Yeah.
Around Alaska, and did you stop at different ports in Alaska?
Yes, we did.
Or how did
Yeah.
that work?
All right, I'll give you the whole rundown right quick. We flew from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to Atlanta. Atlanta, had a layover in Atlanta. Atlanta to Seattle, Washington.
Good grief.
Had a layover there. Seattle to Anchorage. Once we got to Anchorage, we had a 3.5-hour bus ride to get to the boat.
Oh,
So-
no shit.
Yeah,
So
so we had,
it was a trip just to get to the trip.
it was a trip to get to the trip.
And when you got on the ship, what happened then? How many stops did you make while you were on the ship?
We made
How long were you on the boat?
we made 4 stops. We was on for a week, 7 days. We made 4
Oh,
stops.
sweet.
We stopped in Icy Straits, Alaska.
Uh-huh.
We stopped in Juneau, which is the state capital of
I've
Alaska.
heard of Juneau, yeah, the capital,
Yeah.
right?
We stopped in Skagway, which Skagway, I'm not a mountain guy. I'm a beach guy. I would definitely 100% live in Skagway. That
No
is
shit. Why?
That is
Why?
It's just a cool little town, man.
No
it's just a
shit.
cool small town. yeah.
Almost as cool as Shootout Mountain.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Pretty
Look,
close.
Cool.
And then from there, went to Ketchikan, Alaska. Then we got off the boat in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Wow.
Hey, so shout out to your partner, our brother's with you.
Old Les Goldstein. He's actually, they're the ones that invited us to go. There was probably a total of 12 or 13 people that went in our little group.
Oh, you went
we
with
did-
friends. That's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't know any of them other than Les and his wife Cindy. That's only 2 that we knew. But one of them was a retired police chief from up in Jersey. He was a pretty cool guy. And other people, man, they were just all friendly. They took us in like we've known them forever.
You heard the guy from
good.
Jersey talking. You said, "I missed the Rod Nader." Oh,
Yeah, I
didn't you
did.
say that?
But then I watched it down last week's podcast, and you said you was glad I was gone. So I don't know if I missed
I
him
did.
or not now.
I said I hate he's gone, but I'm glad because my face and head are so much bigger. And I fucking did like this. Look at the forehead on this side.
There's a 3 plaque instead of a 4 plaque.
Oh man, well, that's good, man. I'm glad you had a good time, dude. Because my wife wants to go on a Alaskan cruise too,
Go.
and she
Go.
I hear it's great.
That
Yeah,
is
and,
on
you know-
our bucket list.
I got a picture that I took in Juneau. We took a sky tram up to the top of a mountain just to look around. I had a few shops up there overlooking the harbor, and there were 5 cruise ships anchored in that harbor while we were there.
Wow.
So there was a shit ton of people there in
Well, that's cool.
Juneau.
I heard somewhere that they were on 2025 or 2026 that Alaska's talking about limiting the amount of tourists that they
Yeah.
allow per year.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Is
Yeah.
there some kind of shit happening, negative stuff as a result?
No, it's
of all
just I
the
think
tourists?
they're just so many that they kind of want to still have some time to be some.
Well, you think because the tourists bringing money.
right?
That's
Oh,
the
yeah,
reason
yeah.
you have tourists. Money.
Outside
money.
money, yeah.
So if you stop tourists, if you stop some of the tourists, you stop some of the money coming into your
Correct.
state. But whatever.
Yeah.
That is definitely one of the things that I want to do, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that is-
well, that's
that was
funny
fun.
because you mentioned several things, Hound Dog, and the only ones I recognized was Juneau and Anchorage. That's how
Yeah.
that's how little I know about Alaska.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice. Now, the time change is crazy, right? Is
Yeah,
it
it's
light
four-
up there?
Yes, there's a 4-hour time difference between North Carolina and Alaska.
So you lose
And-
4 hours, right? Going there.
Yeah, and it's wild because you look out at, I think sunset on one of the days we were there is like 11:30 p.m. Sunrise was at like 2 a.m. So
Yeah,
there's
that's what
a
I'm
lot
trying to
of
say.
daylight. A
Because
lot of daylight.
I watched a movie with Al Pacino in it where he was a detective and he had to go to Alaska to solve a case, and his sleep deprivation was the thing that was killing him because it was only like 3 hours of dark and it's always light.
Yeah,
Like it's always
Wasn't there
daytime.
At one point,
Well, it's only half a
always
year. The other
dark?
half is
It's
flipped.
dark, right? Isn't it dark?
Right.
It doesn't flip. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was all fucked up. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good movie.
This is a picture I told about the 5 cruise ships in the harbor. If y'all can see that, I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, I
Tilt,
see him
you
down
got
at
it
the bottom.
tilted.
I
We
see
can't
three
see
of
it. You
them.
got it tilted. We can't see
Yeah, I see 3 of them.
Up, up,
yeah.
up. There you go.
Yeah, I see it now.
I don't know if you
Hell
see
yeah,
all.
man.
There's
Nice.
5. Well,
I see 3 at the bottom, 2 on the left. Yeah.
yep, that's it.
Gotcha. Yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. Well, good. Well, welcome back, man.
Well, thank you. Glad to be
We
back.
did miss you, even though my head's fucking smaller now. But
I don't know if
Now, how does that work? You're on the cruise ship. You go into town, and they say you better have your ass back on the ship by 3 o'clock, or by golly,
Yes.
we're leaving.
yes,
Yeah.
and they don't wait for
don't wait.
nobody.
No,
Really?
they don't.
Yep.
Yep.
So you know what? If you get on a cruise ship and your watch is still the time at home,
Oh yeah.
and it's like 3 hours off, you're fucked.
Well, it's like
Right.
Double D. He's an hour behind us. It's just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we podcast at 9. He's at 8.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
got to know. They tell you as you're leaving the ship, be back at this time. Make sure your watches are set. At least that's what they did on the cruise that I've been on.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing is I could deal with being left in Alaska before I could the Caribbean.
Haiti.
Maybe.
Haiti.
Yeah, here's
Cuba.
your stick. We'll see you later.
Yeah, or the DR. Here's your AR-15.
Yeah.
Good luck with you,
Yeah.
motherfucker. All right, cool, man. Cool. Well,
Well, good deal. Hound Dog work. Other than a Rod Netter, we're glad you're back.
I appreciate it.
I'm
Glad to be
torn.
back.
I'm glad you're back.
Remember, I'm the
Yeah,
only
d-
friend you have on here.
And
Rod.
I tell
That's
you,
exactly
Go
right.
easy.
Everybody else is like,
Now,
who
you have
invited
a tur-
this motherfucker?
You have a turtle story, right? Because we had the last podcast you were on, we had 2 different of our listeners say, "Hey, we want more turtle stories."
Oh, them bastards. They follow me everywhere, man.
You talking about our subscribers or the turtles?
The turtles. Here's another picture. I just happened to be walking by a place in, where was this at? Ketchikan, Alaska. Now, they had the doors open because it's a beautiful day. I looked over there, and I see this fucking turtle
Damn.
statue.
Look at
I,
that
s-
thing.
I said, I got to go in there.
Turtle.
I've got to
Can't
go
get
in there and
away
take a
from 'em,
picture of
dog.
that. I can't,
got
man.
to. You
Those
got to,
bastards are every damn where.
Yeah. You
stay,
show those
go back
ladies
to
on the
work
beach.
tomorrow.
Say, look at this son of a bitch right here. Yeah. Show those
Yeah.
ladies. They'll probably be like, oh my God, he looks beautiful.
He's gonna, hey, Hound Dog's
That
gonna go
one
back to
made
work.
it. It made it.
He's gonna go back to work tomorrow. They're gonna say, Hound Dog, you're back. We missed you.
Yeah, I doubt that. I'll
Turtles
run
are
over.
like, there he is. We know him.
Well, the other thing
Oh.
that's going on now, glad to see you back, Hound Dog. The other thing going on this now is just so happens that the Olympics just finished up.
Well,
And
hey, Rod Netter, I'm sorry. Let me
Sir.
stop you just for a second. What
go
the
ahead.
hell are you drinking out of, Hound Dog?
Oh,
what
shit.
What's
Hold on.
somebody else got?
Stand by.
All right, go ahead,
Be right
there,
back.
Rod Netter. I'm sorry. I had
Man
to correct
down,
an
man
issue.
down.
I just wanted to mention that we just got finished up with the Olympics. It just got finished up, and the United States, again, not a fan of the opening ceremony, but that's France for you. Fuck them. But the Olympics ended up really nice. Just so everybody knows, the final medal count, United States, 126 medals. To second place, China, 91. Damn
China.
right. Fuck them bastards. You damn right. We had 40 gold. They had 40 gold.
Well, the problem is they're like 5'2". You know?
That's
The
right.
only
And
thing
then
they're good at is diving and swimming.
the table tennis shit now. They're
Table
fucking
tennis.
crazy like that shit.
Yeah.
So we got
Oh
40
man,
gold.
that's unbelievable to watch that.
Yeah. We got 40 gold. They got 40 gold, but then we got 44 silver. They got 27. We got 42 bronze. They got 24. So we beat them by 36 medals.
Yes, sir.
35 medals. So United States, I want to give a heads up to those athletes. They train so hard, and they make us look good, and they turf the rest of the world, and I freaking love it. I
Yeah.
love it. United
awesome.
States, way to go.
I understand they
Way
had
to
like
go. Good
break
job.
dancing on there.
They had break dancing,
That's
BMX,
Olympic sport, break
all sorts of stuff.
dancing.
Yeah,
It is.
It
But-
is what it is.
But
Well, bourbon
starting,
drinker. We need to
starting,
go in there for bourbon drinking.
starting at the next Summer Olympics, they're going to rotate breakdancing with baseball. They're going to take one.
Well, I can see the
Wow. Okay.
the
I
polarity
can't-
there.
Yeah. But anyway, here's to
Yeah.
all of our Olympic athletes, guys.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
Way to go.
Way
Hey,
to
you
go.
know, they understand they make like what, $25,000 if they get the gold.
Depends which ones. Some made
Yeah.
37. Some get different.
And I
Some dude won something. Some guy won the gold in one of the events, and I can't remember what it was, but he got an apartment, a condo given to him, like something weird. I don't know how it works, guys, but there's different things you can win. Just not just a medal, but different things you win. You can win different prizes. It's
Hey,
kind
You
of
know, at one point, I don't know if they still do it or not, but they used to tax them for the medal.
Tax them.
Yeah, like if you want a gold medal in America, you got taxed for it.
I don't
Oh, I can
doubt
see
it.
that. Thank you,
Yeah.
Biden administration.
Yeah. Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going political now.
No, we're not. No. I
Wait,
no,
that means I'm the producer. I'm in. Let's go.
So
You
do we
started
know-
it slow. You started it.
I knew. As soon as I said, I
You
said,
can't help
"Oh,
yourself. You go, I don't want to go politics, but you
Open
fucking can't help
Pandora's
yourself.
box.
You open it up.
Oh, Hound Dog, you enjoying yourself? Are you?
Yes, I am. I am.
He's glad to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, guys, the Olympics was awesome. I'm glad our athletes did good. Once again, America did a great showing. And
Hey, do we have any idea how we compared to last year?
We dominated last year. Last year we had more gold medals than China, and we won the most medals. The last 5 years we've been dominant in Summer Olympics. So,
I tell you what, have you ever, and you got all kinds of stuff on the Olympics, but you ever watch any of the water polo?
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
Those
Did you
boys
hear
are
how they
damn
do?
good.
Did you hear about how they do?
they're crazy.
They beat
No,
the
go
shit
ahead.
out of each other. under
Yeah,
Yeah, underneath the water, man, they grab each other, they pinch each other,
Dude,
they
they
hit each
get
other.
mugged. They get
Oh,
Doug.
yeah.
It's male rape on rape. It's fucking crazy. You're in the water. The guy, especially in the middle, in front of the goal, the
There was
guy who's
one-
the attacker. He's sitting there, and there's a guy on his back just drowning his ass, and he's popping back up. And I mean, they're crazy. And they're
Hey,
treading
if I was doing water
the whole
polo, I
time.
just wear like a T-shirt. That's all I wear.
just t-shirt.
And you know they're never touching the bottom of the pool. They're treading water, or swimming the whole.
They're
Yeah,
treading water the
damn
whole
time.
Treading water the whole time.
The
Yeah.
conditioning is incredible. The
It's
conditioning is
crazy.
incredible.
They had
Yeah.
one years ago. It was like Poland and Russia, and they had to stop it because they were beating each other so bad.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because they hated each other anyway. It was
The
Russia
other
and
thing
Poland.
I didn't know that handball. Handball to me is me and you go out and there's a wall, and we hit a ball against the wall with our hand. Handball, like
How's it go?
this is like it's like a goal.
I don't have
like,
a soundbite for that.
It's like a goal, like you would for soccer, right? And there's like a round half moon, and the defenders are here, and you just try to throw a ball past the defenders into the goal. You just try to throw it.
Yes.
And that's handball in the Olympics. That's a medaling thing. I had no idea. I never knew handball was that.
Well, when
handball
you-
to me is against the wall.
When you're
back
talking
in,
about
back
the
in
breakdancing, did you see the girl from Australia?
No.
It's all over social media. There's this-
Hey, Double D, we have lives. We actually didn't watch it.
But so since you don't, tell us what happened.
Yeah, since you watched it
Yeah.
So
down in
anyway,
Alabama.
It was
happened?
a highlight. So there's this girl from Australia. She's in the women's breakdancing. She's all over social media right now because it was bad. Whoever let her go over there
It was
Bad,
I mean,
bad
you
break.
mean it was-
What was bad about it? Break.
You mean
She
it's bad,
breaks
it's
it's
not
probably
good.
like me or Hound Dog or you or Slow.
Oh,
it was
She was just floundering on the floor doing
she
like
did some
this?
kind of little and she had some little jump that was like supposed to be like a kangaroo because she was from Australia.
Oh no shit!
It was bad.
Who won it all? Did you watch it? Who won the medal?
I don't think we won. I don't think we might have got a medal, but I don't think we won the gold.
I would think we do great at that because we got breakdancers all over this freaking.
They were
place.
saying it was like
And
Asians and
skateboarders.
Latinos.
Kangaroo. Do the kangaroo.
Yeah, do the.
Oh yeah,
kangaroo.
look it up.
I
Australian
think we
breakdancing.
got third place in that. I think.
We
I'm
may
looking
have.
it up. I'm looking it up right now while we're talking. You
What
guys,
is that?
what-
Is
what-
that a,
hey, what
is
about
that a
the,
silver, a bronze? What is that? Third place.
Third place is
Bronze.
bronze.
Bronze, yeah.
gold, silver, bronze. Come on now.
Hey, what about the guy from Turkey doing the shooting? Did you see that dude?
Oh yeah, the
I
hitman.
heard
Holy-
the backstory. I heard
Is
the
that
backstory.
Holy crap, man!
It's
Yeah.
like he signed up that day and just showed up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if my ex-wife is home, I want my fucking dog back. That's what he said on the.
Hey, no ear protection, anything one-handed. By
Nope.
God, here I am.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and it showed all the other people. They had like little things hanging from their hats
Oh, yeah.
or
Yeah.
from their glasses.
These
and-
thousands of dollars of equipment
Right.
to enhance their performance.
John Wick ain't got shit on that guy.
No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
ain't kidding.
No.
Had
that
his
dude
hand in his pocket, shooting one-handed.
Yeah.
And then I heard they interviewed him, and he told his ex-wife, "By the way, if you're watching, I want my dog back." Did you guys hear that? It's true. Like that's what I heard he said. I haven't pulled it up, but that's what I heard.
Was
he said.
bitch implied? I want my dog back. Bitch. Was that implied?
I want the bitch
implied.
back, bitch. Yeah.
It was implied.
All right, guys, we are 21 minutes into this podcast. We got a lot to cover, man. This is going to be a very
we're gonna have to get into the
in-depth.
police stuff now, and it can get a little bit dark. So
It's
we just
gonna
wanted to
get
do
a
a
little bit
couple of fun things to start out with. But here we go. We're going to go into the depths of hell and darkness, and just remind you people that the monsters are out there, and we need people to defeat
absolutely.
them. So, Dobie Dog, you got something for us?
Yeah, so it is on July 30th, I believe it was. This couple, they call the police because their son is unconscious. And they get there, long story short, son ends up dying. He's got some
How old
kinda
is this kid?
6 years old. And the parents evidently had a lengthy record in the first place. But he died of some bowel damage from his bowels. And come to find out, this kid had been in the house. They'd been abusing him for a long period of time. They kept him in a pen in the bathroom. So to keep him a pen, like a cage.
Pen, P-E-N, pen.
Yeah.
Not a pen, a pen. Us normal people say pen. He goes pen.
I said pen.
Sorry, buddy. Go ahead, man.
That's what I do off the front porch.
So they got him in this cage in the bathroom. He can't get out, can't leave, and the abuse was just ungodly. So he was looking out the window and evidently at some point trying to get out. So to keep him from looking out the window, they stapled him face first to the wall.
To the corner.
Corner.
Now, you talking about him or his clothes?
Him. They
Was,
said
that was his clothing. It was
it
his
clothing?
clothing. Yeah.
And they would do such things as this. One thing they did, they shot him with a BB gun. And he had, when the police finally arrived, they charged the parents. And the wounds were just crazy. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff. And
So now, how did cops get involved?
the parents who were doing the abuse, the kid went unconscious on them. So they called medics because he was unconscious. They thought he was going to die. And he eventually did die. So when the
Oh,
medics
let's get him
there,
better so we can abuse him more.
Yeah. So when the medics get involved, the police get involved, and it just spirals from there.
Do we know
And
what
they brought
state
out
this
some more
is?
charges. Oakland, California.
No. It's in Missouri. Sorry.
Missouri.
Michigan. It's in
Michigan,
Madison
yes,
Heights.
Michigan. I'm sorry.
It's one of the states in the continental
Madison
United
Heights,
States.
Michigan. Heights, Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, and if you see the pictures of the family, I mean,
They're pieces of shit.
you can
I'll show
tell.
'em. I'll show them.
Yeah, you can just look at somebody sometimes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what?
Oh, look at
And
the
it-
guy. Is that not somebody you just want to walk up and just punch in the face? Look
And
at
there's
him.
no grief. There's no that they're getting their picture taken, accused of doing all the shit they know they did, and they just sit there like it's like fucking they're at the photo mat or something, you know.
And it also says the father, Giacchino, was charged with possession of a firearm prohibited person, 5-year felony, felony firearm violation, 2-year felony, possession of ammunition by a felon, lying to a police officer. That's outside of the assault and abuse charges.
Yeah.
So, the start of the story is he's a convicted felon.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and I read a little bit on this as well. It says during the autopsy, the photos taken during the autopsy of the little boy, his name was Giovanni, and he had bruising and lacerations on his entire body, including his scalp, temples, lips, inner mouth, cheeks, forehead, chin, shoulder, forearms, fingers, thumbs, back, buttocks, inner thighs, knees, and shins.
And they said he
Could you
had
imagine living that
pervasive-
lifestyle, having to deal with that all the time?
Man,
He
that poor
said he
kid,
had
man.
pervasive bruising to his abdomen, which was bloated, and just disextended.
So how long did this go? Did a family member not know what's going on? Did a cousin, a brother, sister, an aunt not know what's going on with this kid?
Apparently not.
For some reason,
somebody somewhere's got to miss the kid showing up for events and stuff. Birthday parties, things of that nature. It's cool.
Well, for some reason, there was a grandmother that lived in the home with him, from what I read. Yeah, it's toward the end of the article. It's a very lengthy article. And there's a grandmother that lived in there, but nothing else is said about her, if she knew about it or she, whatever she did.
All right,
Weren't there other kids there too?
Yeah, she had he had 2 siblings that was there that witnessed the whole thing.
Now, were the 2 siblings, were they okay? They were taken care of?
They didn't say anything about them.
Let me pose this to you guys. You're 3 guys. We're 4 guys sitting on the jury. What would you convict this guy? How many years would you give him?
Every fucking
life without the possibility.
Dude, I question death penalties and this type of thing.
Well, I tell you too.
I question why it shouldn't be considered, because the depravity that this guy and this lady showed against a child, with the weakest of, whenever somebody victimizes the weakest of us,
and you talk about a true victim,
whether it's a child, a true victim, a child, a very elderly person, or even a female who's very incapable of taking care of herself, and there's a guy that's very I feel like when the strong victimize the weak to that extent, where it's depraved, it's depravity, it's evil, it's vicious, it's all those things. It's just downright evil. Why shouldn't we kill that motherfucker?
And to go along.
Seriously,
with
I
agree. I agree completely.
What good is he? If he did it once, he's going to do it. He can do it again, right? So do we let him out in 20 years and then he does it again? I don't know. Do we let another victim become a victim when we know here's this guy who stapled a kid to the wall and did all these things to him?
Right.
How much more do you need to know?
Here's my thought process. You put that sign around his neck and put him in general population.
Yeah.
Here's another thing too.
That'll be good.
With that, what kind of conscience and moral does this guy have? None.
Well,
Zero.
He
He's
doesn't give him
past
life in prison.
rehabilitation.
If they give him life in prison, it costs us $10,000 per inmate per year for the guys on death row.
But the man has and the mother. How do you do that to your child that you birth? I mean, he has no conscience. None of them do.
Quick breaking. The breakdancing was won by Canada. Phil Wizard beat France's Danny Dan. And bronze medal.
Where'd that come from?
B-boy Victor, USA won the bronze. So, hey, USA, B-boy Victor. There you go. I told you I'd look it up.
Is your internet slow? Or?
Yeah, it took me a minute to dig it out because it was at the bottom of the fucking stats, because breakdance is not exactly, basketball or whatever. But, yeah. So I really question sometimes these people, regardless of the crime. When you look at each crime, I don't think, just because you kill somebody, then the death penalty should be warranted. I think the crime and the viciousness of the crime should dictate the punishment. Yeah. And so when you get to the point where you're, again, victimizing the least capable, the ones who look at you to take care of them, the ones who look at you to look after them, to protect them from the monsters, and you end up being the fucking monster, dude, I'll slit your fucking throat. Fuck that.
You think about the kids
I just have nothing for them. I got nothing for them.
The kids who are there that have to live with that the rest of their life?
Dude.
And how do you rehabilitate such a piece of shit?
You can't.
Right.
He has no
conscience. And what happens to that little boy when he grows up? Is he all twisted up in his head?
Oh, yeah.
He does that to another?
He's all jacked up.
Does it keep going generational now? Dude, it's got to be some stuff.
So check this out. The boyfriend texted the mom and said, "I've solved the problem of keeping Cheerio's face," I guess that's what they call the kid, toward the wall, sending her a photo that he stapled him to the corner of the pen so that he could not move his shoulders, and his head and face were wedged in the corner of the wall.
They said they had
a get this. They both of them laughed about it and joked about it.
Give the kid up for adoption. If you don't want the child, just give him to social services for adoption.
And they said they had over 100 hours of videos and pictures of them of their abuse that they had that they themselves had recorded on their phone.
Which means,
well, you know what they did? To keep an eye on the kid while they were out. Excuse me. To keep an eye on him while they wasn't in the house, the boyfriend installed security cameras in the bedroom or bathroom, whatever it was, focused on the pen that the little boy was sentenced to, so to speak.
You know, they're getting off on this shit. They're just, trying to up one each other. And this poor child's running.
That pisses me off.
And the ignorance of these two people, because if you think about it, all these stupid ass fuckers record their crimes, and it's to me, it's so
excellent for cops. It's
excellent. Oh, it's great, but it's like they're so full of themselves, and what they're doing at the time they think is so fantastically funny or great that they want to show people
and realize and think they're untouchable.
Right, but then we get their phones and we download and we go, wow. Thanks for the confession, you stupid
It's like the dopers putting on flashing their money and guns of dope on the Facebook
on the internet.
or wherever.
Yeah. They got a Mac 10 and they got a fanned out hundreds, and they're laughing about selling dope and having guns. Meanwhile, the dude in the picture is a convicted felon, and cops looking at his Facebook go, "Oh, thanks for that. I appreciate that. You're felon in possession of a firearm." You know.
I'll tell you what we used to do. We used to when I was in strict.
Nice button. See, now that was Johnny on the spot.
That's our favorite button.
That was Johnny on the spot.
That was good. So when I was in the street, they would see people on Facebook, and they would see them flashing their dope. And then have their number. They'd call them up. Hey, can you meet us here? Yeah, we'll buy such and such.
And the thing about it is, a sidebar though, is that little piece of shit gets killed. They show his like a third grade picture of him playing football.
Yeah, when he played football in 10th grade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we showed the picture of him when he's a nice looking little kid. Not the one on his Facebook now or on his Instagram.
Can you tell this is a cop show or what?
Jesus Christ. Well, you know what? Because after 30 years, right? 30 for me, 30 for you. 30, I mean, we got what? 120 years between
120
us?
years of law enforcement.
Jesus. I mean, and we all saw the same thing. It's not like one of us is saying something off the cuff. Everybody saw the same thing.
120-year law enforcement who's no longer bound by the administration that used to suffocate us on speech.
I'm free. That's
Freedom!
Free Willy! Free Willy!
What do you have? You don't have freedom. We need freedom.
I was going for the damn Braveheart, and Slow Ride goes for the fucking whale.
Yeah. That was my Braveheart, Hound Dog.
Yeah, I like that.
We need freedom.
We need freedom.
Hey, great segue. Don't we have another topic on this same line?
Yeah, we got another bad one. I think Hound's got this one.
Yeah, let me pull it up right fast. Hold on a second.
Is that the lady?
If you ever want to know how a cop feels, just tune into this program.
Jesus.
Yeah, we'll tell you.
I don't mind dipping into it for an hour, but I'm
go.
glad I'm done with the shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. The headline states, woman arrested in 37-year-old cold case for allegedly leaving a dead newborn baby in a California dumpster. So, I'm just going to go ahead and show you her picture right off the bat. This piece of shit. This piece of shit right there.
Right.
Well, I'm sure
Evidently.
she's reformed now. She thinks she knows
She
better.
didn't mean it.
And right back in California, I'm sure she's
rehabilitated.
going to. Yeah, it surprised me the bond she got, Hound Dog. I know you're going to touch on all that, but surprised me though in California she got that type of bond is to just smack on the wrist and say, "Good girl."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
So, Hound Dog, tell us a little bit about it, because 37 years later, how did they come about this? How did they come upon her? And all that good stuff.
So, I guess in 1987, I think is what it said. Yeah, 1987, she was 19 years old. She evidently had a baby and decided she didn't want to keep it, and she dumped it into a dumpster behind a business in the 5400 block of La Sierra Avenue in Riverside, California. And the way the newborn was found was there was a guy rummaging through the dumpster looking for recyclables, and came across the baby, and they had no idea. You know, back in 1987, I think DNA was in its very infancy.
Infant stage.
Infancy.
That's right.
I said intimacy.
You did. We were getting into some porn or some shit. I don't know what you were doing. Go ahead.
But so it wasn't all that back in 1987.
Excuse me.
But through the years, in 2020, the case was reopened, and the lady I showed you a picture of was identified as the baby's mother through DNA samples.
So she
now-
had to
so-
be in the system for her DNA.
Right. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's not her first.
But I don't
rodeo.
know.
Sometimes they do the other thing, Hound Dog, where they have the DNA of the baby and they can run it through these people who get their DNA and their family trees done.
Oh,
Yeah.
Through like life.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they do that, but go ahead.
Like at Ancestry and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they do
Ancestry.com.
share that with law enforcement.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
That's good. I didn't realize they did that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to find the. But anyway, they charged her, and guess where they located her at?
Shelby, North Carolina.
Shelby, North Carolina.
Yeah, I was going to bring that very thing up. Right in Double D's back door.
Backyard.
Yeah.
Backyard.
Yeah.
She was probably his neighbor at some point in time.
I didn't catch that part.
Yep,
Yeah.
I did.
That
I
baby
just
didn't
read
look
it.
like
I did
Sasquatch
too.
did it.
How did I know you was
Oh
going there?
man. But
Yeah, she's slated to be arraigned on September 7th, for what it says here. But I wonder how the DNA came up, guys, because they have the DNA of the baby. They just run it through the system. You think, and the lady was in the system for something else, and it just clicked. You think
Oh,
that
had to
was it?
be. Had to be.
had to have been.
Yeah, it wasn't like a cold case open. They just, I mean,
Yeah, as long as she's Johnny Good Shoes all along after she did that.
Yeah, I guess
And
it was
now-
a cold case, and they just ran it through the DNA system, and that just got
In my
hit.
understanding, that when the baby's in the dumpster, the baby's already dead, so she's committed homicide before she dumped the body.
How about
Right,
doing
so-
something
Yeah.
like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like
Absolutely.
right now, it's like right now, like my mom and dad coming back and saying, "Yeah, motherfucker, we knew 37 years ago you shit in the fucking family room and covered it with a rug when you were 9." Like, 37
So,
years
that sounds like
later.
confession. That
Yeah.
sounds just like confession. What that sounds like?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, then I scooted my butt against the floor like dogs do. Just wipe my ass. No, 37 years later, you're living your life, and all of a sudden you get a knock on the door, much like the FBI knock.
Yeah.
And they come in and go, "Yeah, we know you put a baby in a dumpster." 37 years later. Can you imagine that?
You shit under the carpet.
Could you imagine
So-
Could you imagine the look on her face when she? I mean, that's got. You think you got away with it, and then all of a sudden, karma. The world is round. You put out bad, it comes back to you.
Well, shit.
That's
You know,
right.
and this
Reap what
being
you
in
sow.
this being in California, the land of fruit and nuts, and liberal folks,
Yeah.
the bond, the bail rather, was higher than I would ever imagine
For California.
in California. $1.1 million. 1.1 million. I've taken some people to jail. They got the gold standard membership club, the $1 million or better bail. But for California, holy
Oh, yeah.
crap!
That's a surprise.
Even as
That is a
liberal as North
surprise.
Carolina is, we're very conservative compared to everybody's conservative
She
compared
probably
to
wouldn't have got
California.
that
Yeah.
high of bond if she lived in California.
Oh, that's true.
I think that's the only reason they
Double
gave it to her.
D just hit like a double baser thing there. What do you call that? A double hitter.
He had a 2-bagger. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about females either. Not 2-baggers. Sorry, chauvinist
There's
pig.
Rodnator.
Chauvinist pig.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. The sad thing about it, we all know each other's background that we don't talk about on this podcast. It's a good thing.
That's true. But now let me get back to this. So a lady puts a baby in a dumpster. We
Yep.
catch her 37 years later. What's her
Yep.
punishment? She left a
Well, she
no
was
telling
Again,
how the ba-
put
no
the
telling
four of
how
us
the-
on a jury.
Yeah, no telling how the baby died in that dumpster. Was it from the elements? Was it from rats and shit or animals eating
I
it?
understand the
How
baby's
fuck- how
dead
do you know?
prior to being in a dumpster.
Was it born? Is it stillborn? We don't know. Only
And this-
person knows is her.
And this is before the safe haven, leaving the baby on the doorstep of a police department or a fire department, and you know punishment.
You know,
This is
I-
way before all then.
But you know what? But before that was even, I'm sorry, Double D. Before that was even done, that's still a better option. Before that was even allowed,
No, I agree.
You
I
leave it
agree.
on the steps of a church. Was back in the day, right? That's the place
Yeah.
to leave it. You leave it on the steps of a church, and you know the baby's going to get somewhere
Yeah.
where it needs to be.
There's so many
You don't put
options
it in
now.
a fucking dumpster. What's the matter with you? What
Yeah,
the
exactly.
fuck's the matter with you? What are you thinking? It's
People,
not a puppy.
she skipped timing. That woman has skipped timing. I mean, something not firing off in their damn brain cells.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah.
to,
Well,
to do
I-
something.
And just looking at her picture, Hound Dog, tell she's a fucking whack job.
No, when I was
Yeah.
in
She
college,
looks like a
Yeah.
fucking moron.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
are you
Sorry.
guys like me though? You read this article, 30-something years ago, something happened. Now that she's held responsible, you go, oh shit.
That can happen?
Yeah, really?
I gotta go.
FBI.
Yeah. FBI. Yeah.
So when I was in college, there was a girl that nobody really knew she was pregnant, but she had it and she had a baby. And she had it a little early, and the way she was caught, it got flushed,
Oh, what?
and they found it in the
Sewer?
toilet or something. It
Oh,
clogged it or
let me
something.
tell you, a
Yeah.
dear
Oh,
friend of
shit.
mine A dear friend of mine, Marvin Moose, worked for the water treatment plant for City of Gastonia.
Oh, God.
And unbelievable the stories he'd tell you, the things they found in the water treatment plant.
That'll blow your mind.
Fetuses, everything. It's
Alligators?
unbelievable.
Alligators?
I'll never mention alligators.
You know what I'm saying? But
It was
people flush
Gastonia.
these little animals down, and maybe a turtle, Hound Dog.
Oh,
Call
them
women.
damn turtles.
Call your female friends. We got a search warrant.
Hey, but how many times you sat down and you already had a turtle before you sat down? You know what I'm saying?
Got a head
Oh, yeah.
poke. Turtle head poke. And,
Yeah.
About an hour and a half ago.
Hey, quit talking shit.
I still come back to the, what kind of punishment should she have? She killed a baby. She's lived 37 years scot-free, hadn't had to pay for a crime.
But
what
you know,
happens now?
She has to. In that 37 years, she has to have thought about that.
Oh yeah.
How many times you let some kid play on the playground?
I would, Hound Dog, I would hope so. But I wouldn't put it past her to have just put it out of her mind like she was throwing trash out. I don't know.
You're right. Some people have zero remorse.
Dude, I would be riddled with guilt.
And it may be a thing too that she finally
I used to be riddled with guilt. Then I found bourbon.
It might be a thing too.
That's
where
why you
she's
drink so
just
much, motherfucker.
It might be a relief to her. She's not hiding it anymore.
Oh, you're right. It could be. You don't know.
Like,
Yeah,
You don't know what's in her
have this
mind.
over my head anymore.
I'd like to know another thing. Does anybody know if she's had any other kids?
I don't
Good
know.
question.
I thought about looking her up on Facebook. I'm sure she probably got a Facebook account.
Well, she's in jail, so she probably can't go out or anything. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you just mean just find out what's going on.
Well, you go back to that type thing. Y'all remember, and you met. I guess you were probably around in this part of the country, but you remember the Susan Smith case in South Carolina?
Oh, yeah. Drove the car into the
Drove
water.
the car and
Yeah.
blamed it on
Blamed
somebody
on black
else.
guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
And she drove with her 2 kids, her, I think daughters.
Hey, but
No,
well,
two
looking
sons.
at her
No,
on the
sons.
news,
Two
Two
boys.
sons.
she was very believable.
Yeah.
To watch her
Yeah.
on the news.
Yeah.
Two boys. Think about this. Drove her car into the water.
They're
let
in
it
child
sink. Her
safety
kids
seats.
are in the seats strapped in. They can't get out. And she gets out of the car and she just lets them go down. And
And
drown.
those were young kids. Young
They were little.
kids.
They were
Yes.
very young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Have y'all
that
ever been,
was
have
just
y'all
so-
ever, have y'all ever been to that lake down there that happened at? I went on a motorcycle ride several years ago, and right at probably about 4 or 5 years after that happened, they got a very, very nice, moving, touching memorial at that lake with those kids on it. It's pretty
Oh,
damn
that's
cool.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
So I remember
They
watching
do
the news and
memorial.
watching
They do
them pull the
memorials
car
on all
out of
these
the
other
kid.
fucking morons. They need to do it on real victims like that. There,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
those
Absolutely.
little babies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, guys, anybody that'll victimize a baby, children, dude.
You talking about a actual victim, innocent victim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Defenseless.
Yeah, you take a bar
Defenseless.
fight, one thug beats up another thug. Is he really a victim?
Oh, dude. Come
You
on.
talking about these babies? They're victims.
I know
Yeah,
this
well,
sounds
right.
cold, but one doper shooting another doper.
We call that a good killing.
One goes to the morgue.
One
one
bad
goes
guy
to
goes
prison.
to jail.
Give
One
a
bad
shit.
guy's dead.
Yeah, good to go. Take the trash out. But when you have a
They-
real
they-
victim, a child.
They agreed to that. They went. They got in that lifestyle themselves.
Yep.
They chose that lifestyle.
Yeah. You're right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. That's
What
just
else you
it.
got, guys? We're about 43 minutes into this podcast.
I got one more. I think.
Well,
Pull
you've
it
been
up here.
saving up on. You've been on vacation.
Man,
got
I had
plenty.
to do. I had to do something on the ship. Come on,
Give me
man.
1 second. I'll have like 15. I mean, it's not hard
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
They're
hold on
everywhere.
a second.
The
I
world's
got
What'd you
a
say about?
shit
What'd you
show.
say about Kamala?
Oh, jeez. That wasn't me, Reggie. That
Who
wasn't
brought
me.
it up? Do I have to produce now? Do I got to start? Do I got to come in?
What about
Tag me in.
What about Waltz?
We don't have time. We're 43 minutes into the podcast.
Yeah.
So
We're
y'all,
talk about
y'all
horses.
remember the talking about Ferguson Police Department?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, 10 years ago, the 10th anniversary of the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson. Where's it at? Ferguson,
Do we know
Missouri.
about the Michael Brown shooting?
Missouri.
I don't. It doesn't ring a
Missouri.
bell. You guys know?
Missouri.
Yes, Michael Brown's the big guy who went into the convenience store, threw around the clerk, stole some shit, was walking down the road. The cop pulled up to get him out of the
yeah,
road.
yeah.
He thought he was coming up on him because he robbed the store. He went to the car, fought with the cop in the car. Shots were fired.
Yeah, big
He
fat
walked-
guy, and he died of a heart attack.
He walked off. Cop got out and shot him, and then they built a
Shot him.
statue, and they tried to send the cop to prison.
That's where the whole hands up, don't shoot
I'm
come
a little
from.
lost.
Yeah. He said he has hands up, don't shoot. But as his hands were up, the 300-pound guy was walking towards the cop with his hands up. He
Yeah.
wasn't stopping. He was walking towards him.
It's called a DRT. Dead right
Okay,
there.
so they were
Anyway, go ahead,
they were
go ahead, Howard.
protesting the 10th anniversary of. They were protesting the 10th anniversary of this the shooting of Mr. Brown, And one of the protesters is a peaceful protest,
Of
so
course,
they say.
They all are. They all are, as they light matches. But go ahead.
But they got fences up, right? There's fencing separating the
There's-
bad guys and the cops.
Well, this is around the police department. They did it in front of the police department there in Ferguson, Missouri. And the police officers was inside watching them, making sure everything's cool. They started shaking the fence that separated the police department from, the general public. And they said, the chief was like, that's cool, shake the fence, ain't no big deal. Well, they went to shaking the fence, and then they tore it down. They damaged the fence.
That's what should have happened.
Yeah, they damaged the fence, tore it down, and that's the chief said, "Enough's enough. Go out there and arrest whoever did that." So they
Put
send
your
some,
boot in their ass.
yeah. So they go out and do that to make the arrest, and some piece of shit protester runs up and shoves. Let me find this. Oh crap! Hold on a second. He shoves a police officer. His last name is Brown, Troy Brown, I think. Travis Brown. Shoves Travis Brown. Travis falls down, hits his head, and has the severe brain injury right now. He's in the hospital fighting for his life. I guess they make the arrest, and the Chief Doyle, was like, man, ever since this happened, everything that you guys have asked for the police department to hire more minorities, to go through more sensitivity training, to do all this, we have done everything, and you guys still protest like this. Why? Stop doing this. So,
He's much nicer than I'd be.
yeah.
At least he did say something.
Yeah.
That's true. And it wasn't negative against his guys.
Right.
Right. So, they're in the I think they made the arrest, and in the process of dealing with Officer Brown's injuries. And scrolling through this article, this came up, a picture that they posted 10 years later. And what can you tell what it says? No, you can't.
It's too bright.
All right.
You gotta,
It says, no justice, no peace.
I heard
So
that.
how in the hell can you justify something like what they did?
You can't.
You can't.
No.
And that's where I don't know if y'all remember this. Y'all probably heard this, but the whole y'all heard of the Ferguson effect? It's an official.
Yeah.
It's an
Oh, yeah.
official philosophy and theory, because that started causing law enforcement not to be proactive and back off, and then your crime rates jumped because we backed off. And it's
Could you
all
imagine?
that was the benchmark
Right.
case.
Yeah.
The four of us being chiefs over some department. Can you imagine how long we would last?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Pro cop, will put your foot in your ass. You get out of line. Yeah, the administration would do it with us. The
Nope.
city council, no, we got to kiss babies and lick feet.
And we got to put it all over social media. Look what we
Great
did.
thing about being retired, man. We can
I
actually
was-
speak our piece and let everybody know how real cops really feel.
I was on my way up the ladder. I hit captain. They discovered who the fuck I was. I went, and I stopped right there. And that was it. Talk about a glass ceiling. My ceiling was fucking made of granite. I couldn't
tell
get
you.
through that.
The thing about for our new listeners, our new subscribers, a little background about us.
We got a lot of them, too.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Rim
all
shot.
smartasses.
You know.
I've got that somewhere.
Well, let's hit it, button guy.
Oh, come on.
the hell was that?
Yep, that was it. That's a rim
it.
shot.
That's a rim shot.
Yeah, again, of course, you're Captain Charlotte Meck. Dobie and I were Sergeants Gastonia PD. Hound Dog brings up the slick sleeve outside of the
Equation.
officer end of things. The true, real being behind the backbone of the police
The
department.
backbone.
Yeah,
The
the
backbone.
law enforcement, the officer.
And it's the backbones, the officers on the road, boots on the
So
ground.
it was Rod Nader's job to shovel us a shit sandwich. It was was Double D's and mine to take a big bite out of the shit sandwich and hand it to Reggie.
Yeah.
Now, Reggie, go do this. We're gonna get him some coffee.
Saving
City
budget,
council
saving your job.
made the sandwich. handed it down. Yep.
Oh,
Here,
yeah,
feed-
they should
feed
be.
this to
You're
the
right.
troops.
They should be in 2 bites out of the shit sandwich from the captain and from the sergeant before he goes to the back to the officer.
And the chief didn't take an bite of it.
Yep.
Oh, he's wondering why it wasn't finished.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else you guys got, man? We got 2 more
that's-
minutes left in this
that's-
program.
That's like the whole thing goes back to that. A lot of your chiefs and admin are just completely lost touch, and you go back to social media. They're so concerned with trying to put stuff on social media. Look what we did with look what we did. That
Look
they're-
how nice we are.
Yeah, they won't. They're so afraid of letting people know that we have to be the police. There's just a certain element of society.
Yeah, and there's
that-
reason
Right,
we're
and-
called the police.
Right. And to segue into what you just said, Dope, that's the whole thing when I used to do the bats with hats out on the street with all the riots in Charlotte in 2020. When I was out there, the things that were effective, whether it be the pepper balls, the tear gas, whether it be whatever it was, after we effectively cleared the street and the riot was over, the same people that ran that riot, that bust the people in, that paid for the signs, that organized it, would sue us to get us to stop using the non-lethal things we used, to stop them from breaking the law in the street. The
And that was
balls,
already
the gas.
pre-cated into the whole thing.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
They
The
knew
second-
that was the
Right.
step they're going to do.
Right. And then once a court says you can't, which they occasionally do, we got it reversed and this back and forth, but that's what they want to do. So next time they go out there, they don't have to fear the pepper ball or the tear gas, and we can't move them in the street without physically moving them. And then you get the bats, like in the old days, the civil rights days, and you see cops coming down with a fucking club on people's heads, or
And that
the
could-
dogs, or the
And that could be 15 seconds of the whole thing, and that's what they show.
That's all they show.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. And then people just flash back to those times. And it's like, and I want to ask any citizen, anybody, doesn't matter your race, whatever, what do I do as a police officer to move these people out of the street so you and everybody else can go to work and function, and so your buildings and your apartments don't get burned down, your windows don't get cracked, and your cars don't get burned? Like, what do you want me to do? And you know, the real citizens, the silent majority, say, move those motherfuckers.
Right.
But there's this faction of people, this really small group, and I believe it's a small group, guys. I believe it's less than 1%, maybe 2% of the population.
But they
who just
get all the
who
media.
hate us.
They get all the media.
Yep. They hate us. They want anarchy. They want to burn the system down because their lives suck, and they're ugly, and they're stupid, and they're fucking ridiculously dumb. And they just hate their life because
How do you really
they live
feel?
in the street. Yeah, that's how I feel. They eat out of dump. Whatever their problem is, they want everything burned because they can't stand
yeah.
for people to function in a society. That's it.
And Rod
They-
Nader, Captain, you hit the nail right on that. They bust those people in. It's
They
not
do.
the people that represent their community.
Well, that's like
Right.
that's like I don't know if Hound Dog, you and Slow were there for the stuff with Tony's. Were y'all still there?
No, we were already
I was
retired.
there.
Yeah,
I
we
lived it.
retired.
I lived it. I
Right.
wasn't a cop, but I lived right down the street.
The girl that started that, the girl that got all that going,
Yep.
You know,
She
wait a
was
minute.
going-
Back up, Double D. Give a little background about
Okay.
Tony's and what you're talking about.
okay. Tony's Ice Cream. It's a landmark in Gastonia. It's a homemade ice cream shop. Been there since probably the 20s. So they-
1917.
1917. So a girl comes in there. She doesn't like the service, and she makes it out to be a race issue.
During the George Floyd 2020 shit going
Right,
on. Go
right.
ahead.
Or she assumes she don't like the service.
Right.
She went there with an agenda.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So she goes in there. She gets out. She gets out there. Long story. She gets arrested for disorderly conduct, and then the riots, the bullshit starts. And we had been done with the George Floyd stuff for maybe a month before she started her shit. So we went for about another week dealing with her, and every once in a while she'd pop up, and every once in a while she'd pop up. And she even made the comment that they were going to leave when they left, and they were going to go somewhere else. And she was paid to go to different places and start riots and start bullshit. She
And
was
this is a
professional-
black female.
Yeah. Yes. So she, and her cousin, we hit him with pepper ball one night, and he was a thug that had dropped a gun on us several times and had sold dope. And her father was a deceased deputy from Gaston County Sheriff's Department, and he had been deceased for years. And she even
must be proud.
said
Rolling
that.
over his grave.
He must be proud.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
she even told us she was going somewhere else. They were going to Raleigh, and so they were going, and then she was going to Florida. She even made that comment that that's what they were doing. So she would just go around different places and stir up shit.
Yep.
And that's and some of those too. Like I know Rod, you were at the probably at the DNC in 12 in Charlotte
Yes.
when that. So then they were telling us that they would have people come in all these Antifa in different places. Their job was to come in and watch and try to get lawsuits on officers.
Well,
and that's how they would fund their job, fund what they did.
Let me just put a stamp on this. On what Dobie's saying is absolutely true. 90% of the arrests that we made, I made, my people made, back at the DNC,
Charlotte Neck.
were out-of-state arrests.
Yeah.
People came from out-of-state in Charlotte, did enough shit for me and my boys to arrest you, damaging property, setting fires, assaulted officers, whatever. And they go to jail. We pull them where they're from, Missouri, South Carolina, Florida,
All
Seattle.
bust in to cause
All bust
havoc.
in. Very rarely is anybody a local person. They were all coming from all over. The same people who follow around Fleetwood Mac, the same people who follow around the Grateful Dead in the fucking VW buggies to watch the concerts, these people follow around and riot. That's what they do.
They're paid.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what
Yeah.
they do.
And the way
Except
they get
they're
their
paid.
money is through the lawsuits.
That's exactly
Well,
right.
The Soros. That's how they get their damn money.
Soros and the whole crew. But
Yeah, sure.
but to think about that, every 90%,
let me tell
over
you-
90% were out of state people being arrested. Out of state. What are you doing here? I'm here for the DNC. All of them. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I'm
when
just
we
here
had
for
the riots in Gastonia in 2020 when they spawned off from George Floyd, we had to move some on back and push some on back, and then on the street in the middle of the roads, one of the guys found a flyer, and it was basically assemble here, meet here, blah blah blah.
I
and
saw
it was
that.
for somebody
We had them
from
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they had flyers trying to get people, trying to get support and tell them where to meet, who to respond to, and
Oh. Hey, let me
We would have. Go ahead.
Let me tell you this. I talked to a really dear friend of mine. We're talking about. I was asked, "How do you feel when these bad cops do bad things?" And I told him, "No one hates a bad cop more than a good cop."
Right.
And my friend's
Exactly.
black, and she says, "I feel the same way when my people
Yes.
do bad things because it reflects
Yes.
on all of us,
Yes.
Right.
and the very few
Yes.
reflects on all."
Yes. How many times have I mentioned on this show that there's two things that happen to police officers? One, in the black neighborhoods, we either get harassed because we're in there too much,
Or they
we're
love us.
hammering the black community, or let me finish, we're not in there enough and we're letting them burn. The reason that happens is because a section of that community doesn't want us in there because they're doing crime. And when we're in there hammering away, affecting their bottom line, we're harassing them and we're
Try
racist.
being a black
And then-
cop in that same
right,
situation.
And then when we're not in there, the good people, the hard-working black folks in that neighborhood who look out their blinds and see a bunch of fucking idiots hanging out under a streetlight selling dope, who are calling us but telling us not to come to their door. They just want to
Right.
report them. The taxpayers
Because they're scared of
who want us there,
retaliation.
right? Then they think we're not doing our job because we're not there enough. That's why we get hammered either way.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Either way, you're exactly
Either
right.
way.
You're
Why
right,
aren't
Rod.
you doing something? Why aren't you doing something about it?
But I'll tell you what, and I used to tell him when I
Right.
got to enough rank and I had to answer questions. I know we're at 58, Big Daddy. I got you, producer. When I would get the calls, why are you in here too much?
You
Or
misunderstood me.
Or why aren't you in there too little? I tell them, we go where we're needed. We look
All
at
I'm
the
saying
stats.
is,
We look at
Rod Nader,
everything.
hate to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I just want to say is, I enjoy my white privilege.
yeah, yeah. I don't know where that is. Jesus,
Yeah. There's not none.
that-
There's not any.
there is none.
How many times you guys get up every day to go to work every day to make your buck?
There's no difference. We're all here in the same shit show. You know, we're all here. We just all have to. We all handle it differently. Some of us work for a living. Some of us want to sling dope. I get that. That's cool. But it's not a black or white thing. It's a fucking personality thing. It's just a how you. It's just how you end up. I don't know what it is, but let me tell you something. We used to get hammered no matter what we would do, and I tell them, the reason we're in your neighborhood, here's your crime stats. This is the fucking reason we're in your neighborhood. Your neighbors are calling us to come into your neighborhood. That's why we're there. You know, or why aren't you there?
Exactly right.
Why aren't you in the white neighborhoods? Because they ain't got no fucking crime. Like there's crime. There's nobody's on the street corner selling dope.
Kudos,
fuck.
kudos to the people in the black community that stands up and says, I've had enough of this. I'm coming forward.
Hell yeah.
And they show their face. They say, I am so and so, and by God, we've had enough.
I don't know how many times I call people on the phone. And I said, "Ma'am, you called." Yeah, I said we went by. We got those guys. We took some out. We arrested a couple. Please keep calling us. We'll never come to your house. We'll never out you. Please keep the calls coming. Let us know when they come back. And she'd say, "Oh, thank you so much." She's so appreciative.
Oh, how'd she go? How did she go?
So appreciative. It's just a great feeling when you're really helping somebody who's scared to death in their own house. Lived there for 30 years. She's looking out the blinds, wondering if she's going to be robbed or whatever. It's ridiculous. I can't stand when people victimize the weak.
Because a lot of
That's
times,
why I did what I did.
Shut-ins. They're shut-ins.
A lot of times, Rod, situations like that, it's people who are 60, 70, 80 years old who have done the right thing and built up what they've and built up their house and have what they've earned.
Proud of who they are, proud of their race, proud of where they went from A to Z.
On the other side,
Absolutely.
screwing it up for them. And they did what was right to get where they were at and worked.
Absolutely.
Right,
and they expect us to help them, and that's our fucking job. And that's what I did. Call me
That's
all the
what
names
we
you want.
did.
Kiss my ass. Damn right.
And here we
That's
go.
what
That's
did.
straight from the captain. You're exactly right. And guys, we're at that point of the show.
I ain't done yet.
I'm sorry, man. Let me regress.
Hound Dog, I went bananas there for a second.
I saw that. I'm proud of you.
Hey, but for once, Rodney, I agree with you, brother. 100%.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Hey,
my goodness.
now let's talk about politics.
We are 61 minutes into this 60-minute podcast, guys. Any last shouts? Any shout-outs? Any that boys you guys want to shout that way?
Go ahead, guys. Anything?
Yeah, I got one.
Go ahead.
So I went to a story behind this one. I went to a local liquor store here, actually in North Myrtle Beach yesterday. Walked in the door. There's a guy standing there and said, "Hey, man, would you like to sample some bourbon?" I said, "I sure would."
You know who you're talking to.
That's a stupid question. Do you know who you're talking to?
So I go there,
I actually did in your parking lot, so go ahead.
So this guy gives me a sample of their bourbon, and he said it's a high rye. I said, okay, I'm not really into high ryes, but I'll check it out.
Double D likes it.
Yeah, so he gave it to me, and I tell you what, it was so good, so smooth, was not spicy, did not burn or anything, that I bought a bottle.
Good after finish.
Good after finish, the whole 9 yards, and this is it right here.
Cook's Mill.
Cook's Mill,
Smell.
North
American
Carolina,
straight bourbon whiskey. Wow.
Catawba.
Well, take a look at that.
Catawba County, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And he went on to tell me that they have a farm. They grow their own Jimmy Red corn.
And I don't care. Or was that
yep.
Jimmy Crack corn?
And one of them. It don't matter. They grow their own corn. They grow everything there on the site, and they distill it. And
From farm to bottle.
yeah,
From birth
it's
to adulthood.
Yeah.
it says from the hills to the fields.
What?
Heels to the fields.
To the mill.
To the meals.
Let's get real.
It's got a grist mill stone on it. That's
Oh,
what
it
that
does,
is.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm gonna be trying this on a future podcast, and hopefully, we'll have a little bit more feedback by then.
Hey,
What was
bring
your
those
price
Hound
point on
Dogs.
So
Actually,
and the guy's name is Ian. I can't remember what his last name is. Give me a
What was the
business
price
card.
point? What was the price point on that? Do you know?
In North Carolina, $59. In South
Oh,
Carolina, it was
He's proud of it.
in
proud of
South
that
Carolina it was $57.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
along those same lines, guys, what I'm trying next podcast is triple malt whiskey made here on the mountain.
What's it?
Oh,
What's it
nice.
called? Horse Soldier? What's it called?
No. It's just in a generic bottle. This is homegrown, made here on the mountains. It's triple malt whiskey.
Okay.
Is it
We're
taxed?
trying that out next podcast.
Okay.
Did you pay your taxes on it?
Homegrown.
So,
Now, what are you, police?
so right quick, I told Ian I give him a shout out. I look forward to sampling and rating your bourbon on a future podcast.
You sound like a
And,
free bottle of whiskey.
Hey, I'll give a shout out to Dave's TV and my buddy Ross Porter. He keeps commenting on our videos, boys. He's the wise ass commenting. So here's to you, Ross. I'm gonna check out your comments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer you back.
we gotta have Dave on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd love to have my
Would be
buddy
cool.
Ross on here, man. He could help us out with some bourbon shit. That'd be nice.
Oh yeah,
too.
man.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Anytime bourbon.
Oh,
Hey
yeah.
Ross, send free bourbon and you'll get on the podcast.
Steve's tired of Knobs Creek.
How do you think we got Dobie?
Yeah, that's true. We got these really fancy cups.
Exactly.
We can be bought.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Doesn't take a lot.
Hey, let me ask you this. I know we're running super, super late, but do you guys feel that this cup influences the flavor or the nosing? The flavor, I don't think it bothers, but the nosing,
Yeah, I think
I pick up a lot of nosing on the cup. I did a lot
Yeah.
of the char.
I noticed the same thing myself.
I think it's pretty cool.
But
It's
the taste and the flavor is still there.
Yeah.
But
I get the char from the
Yeah.
cup.
yep.
So,
I just feel
Dobie,
like I'm-
thank you very much, brother, for the gift. You're very
Too.
kind.
Yeah, thank you, Dobby Dog.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Dobie. Appreciate it, brother.
I don't know what's going to cost you to be on the next podcast, but think about something.
Yeah, just start
All right, guys, it's that point of time. You ready to check out?
Shout out.
ready to check out.
Dobie, you got a
Hey,
shout
guys.
out?
Yeah. Ferguson, Missouri PD, what they're going
15
through.
minutes
We're thinking
process.
about you, brother.
All right.
Sir.
Wow, that was short for Double D. Guys, we appreciate it. If you like what you've seen, if you like what you hear, hit that like button, subscribe, and what else need to do, Hound Dog?
What?
Hit the
I
like
wasn't paying
and
attention.
subscribe.
I wasn't paying attention.
They need to hit
Oh,
that
like
like
and
button,
subscribe.
subscribe,
Yeah.
and what else?
Send a. I forgot.
Oh,
Notification.
man. Well,
That's
do all the
been
stuff,
his-
guys. Hit that like button. Please subscribe. We love the love. And give us show us a little respect and let us know what's going on out there. If you
Comment.
leave some comments down in the comment section. If you want to hear something, you want to know how cops really feel, by God, we don't mind telling you.
Like something, don't like something, comment, for God's sakes. Let us know something.
If you don't-
How we can improve.
If you don't,
And let's
send me-
drink. And always remember, let's drink about it and drink responsibly. And all you first responders, go home safe to your families.
Go USA Olympics, baby. Way to go, bros.
This has been a Studio 77 production.
Here's my head's big as shit again.
What do you mean? What do you mean again?
Again.
You mean it's over? Well, shit.